If you're interested in becoming a real estate agent in the state of Connecticut, keep watching. Hi family, this is Jenn Et back with another video. As promised, I wanted to make a dedicated video for anyone who is in the state of Connecticut looking to jump into real estate. I wrote down some of the questions that I remembered from the exam, and I did want to share it with you guys. I hope this information is helpful for anyone who is taking a test that's upcoming or just want to get an idea of the questions that they ask on the exam. I do have them written down here. If you see me looking down, this is what I'm looking at, but I'm just going to go over the topics that are discussed so you'll know what you really need to focus on. So there is a question about designated agency. So make sure you are familiar with the difference between a designated agency and a dual agency, because there's definitely a question on there about that. There's a question about a sub-agency and whether it is legal in Connecticut or not. Continuing education, how soon you have to take courses for continuing education, if it's mandated. There's questions regarding if you're representing the buyer or the seller and someone died in a house. Questions regarding missing items. So say you are representing the buyer and during the final walkthrough, you guys notice that the refrigerator is missing. You know, what happens then? What conversion means. So you'll need to know the definition of conversion, the definition of commingling, what that means, what that looks like. You'll need to know when your license expires, guarantee fund, what that is, what they do, what the payout is. There's definitely questions on that. Make sure you know the membership for the commissions. I can tell you guys now because I remember there are 8 members and it is comprised of 3 brokers, 2 sales agents, and 3 public people. So make sure that you remember that, you study that, you know that, because that's definitely on there. Search land records and what it's needed for and when you'll use it. There are questions about lead-based paint, the CT Uniform Transaction Act, when a residential disclosure is needed or when it's not needed. So make sure you look into that as well. And the last 2 items I have on here, you'll need to know what interfering means as far as representation, and you'll also need to know when your real estate license can be refused. That definitely threw me for a loop. So make sure you're studying because that could be a bit tricky. Looks like those are all the questions that I had. There weren't that many. I believe there are about 30 or 35 questions just for the Connecticut portion. I did say in a previous video to make sure that you review the practice exam questions on PSI, check out Prep Agent, and make flashcards. So those would be very helpful for the national portion. But as far as the Connecticut portion, I just shared with you guys the questions that they have on there. So I just took this test about 3 weeks ago. Make sure that you are looking into all the topics that I mentioned because those were definitely on there. If you have any additional questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.